Hollywood is going to Russia. I am so excited. You know, I thought of an idea on how to revolutionize Hollywood or the movie industry. You know what? I'm going down on the scales. Let me put this up a little bit higher. I weighed about 128 or 129. Look at this. I'm going down, man. This is great. I'll move you over here. Anyways, I have told my men that we need to make a new type of movie studio. We need to make a movie studio that will use automatons as actors. You say, what's an automaton? Well, that's what Barack Obama has been. I'll take this off here. That's what Barack Obama has been for the most part. Anyways, look at this. Here I am on Seroquel, 57 years old, and I look like this. Not perfect. I mean, you know, I don't expect to compete with the 20-somethings out there, but hey, for 57, hey, can't complain. And taking Seroquel, this drug is famous to be a weight gainer. Just about everybody who gets on this drug gains weight, so I'm able to stay on it and not get fat, so I'm thrilled. Okay, back to the thing about the movies. We are going to make movies using automatons. They're like androids, and we can make an exact replica of what Brent Spiner looked like in his 40s, what I look like in my 30s, what Laurie McBride looked like in her 20s when she drug raped Brent. And what we can do is use all of these automatons as actors and actresses in a new type of historical drama. And the way these dramas are going to be made is we will go into the memory and emotion reads of all the living people who are characters in the story. Like they'll go into my brain and just get all of my memories, all of my emotions. And then we will transfer those into the automaton who will be playing my role. So there'll be like a 30-something automaton version of me, a 40-something version of Brent Spiner, and then we will capture, well, I'm going to call them time waves. It's like a term I've made up. You know, when you see a star way out there, they say that if it explodes or becomes nova, sometimes you don't see it till like millions of years after the explosion took place because you know, the speed of light is not fast enough to, you know, bring it to us that quickly. So the same principle is here. Every event that happens in the universe leaves an imprint in the fabric of time and space. And I'm going to call these like time waves, okay? So what we've done is we've created a supercomputer that has singularity. And if you remember the Gail android, she was formidable because she attained singularity, and the only one who could defeat her was God the Father. And that's what happened. He actually was the one who, he created a mother android based on my mother, and she's locked up in prison in the Church of Gail. But we decided that if we can create a computer that has singularity but don't give it sentience, that way it won't be dangerous to us, we can go to it and ask it questions. Like we can ask it like, how can we create movies using events from the past, maybe because using some sort of imprint in the fabric of time and space left by that event. For instance, when Brent got on the phone to call me, probably right from Paramount Studios, it sounded like it many times, because he was working 16-hour days at Paramount when he called me on the phone. And he would call me on the phone, and I think he was like calling me from his trailer on the studio's lot. That left an imprint somewhere. So what we can do is capture that imprint and get the image of him on the phone. The problem is, because that happened like 1991, I'm not sure how strong of an image we can recreate, but we can probably get enough where we can hear what he said and get a pretty good visual of where he was and what it looked like. You say, so what we could do is like, we'd have a supercomputer that would we'd have it do like a search for, and we could put the information in there, like saying Brent Spiner, and Brent himself probably remembers some of the, say, narrow the search to Brent Spiner, Paramount Studios, May 1991, all voice imprints, on the phone calling this number in Linwood, where I lived at the time, Linwood, Washington, and then the supercomputer could go back, searching through all the universe for the imprint of that. It's got to be somewhere. Just like I said, when a star explodes, it leaves an imprint, or you know, the light waves come to us even millions of years after the event happened. So somewhere out there in the fabric of time and space, that left an imprint, and the computer's going to catch it and bring all those imprints together and create a picture for us. And then we would use that to make a movie about past events. We could use our supercomputer to help us with that. And if the imprint's fuzzy and it doesn't really, and we can't translate it into a visual image that would work well on the screen, we could use our Automaton Actors to replicate the event. But we might be able to use an actual voiceover. We might be able to have the imprint be the voice, so you hear the actual voice of Brent Spiner calling me on the phone, and the automaton just moving his mouth, you know, like they do in a lot of when they do these tricks to make movies. So this is how we're going to make movies now. Historical dramas, true stories. We will search for the imprints, work with our automatons to recreate the event exactly as it happened, and then all of these movies will be based on my writings, which by the way, all made, My Silver Skies made New York Times bestseller list, and so did Forbidden Abyss Part 1. Zack Knight has used his clone versions of the internet to make it appear like that isn't the case, and I don't get the monies. He's been stealing all the proceeds. He's done the same thing to Brent Spiner's Old Yellow Eyes Is Back and Dreamland. So that's what we're doing, folks. And Vladimir, look at him. He looks so happy. I got this picture today from the news, and apparently I said we're going to have this studio in. It's going to be it'll be a Russian project, which means Russia will get all the proceeds. And everybody who works at this studio must have Russian citizenship. That's because we're going to be protected under conspiracy law, and Russia follows my conspiracy law 100%. So I'm really excited about this new movie studio inside of Russia. Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Jackman, Gerard Butler, Keanu Reeves, Brent Spiner, all these people have had Hollywood experience, so they're probably going to be involved in the studio, and I have a feeling acting is going to be transformed, where actors will take on more of the role of directors, where they'll be directing the automatons and saying, if you can fine-tune your performance a little bit this way, and then they'll bring in the historical background and say, but you know how an actor researches for their role, where they go back and, well, the way the automaton's going to research for their role is they'll be studying all the imprints that we gather from the past. And if we can use the real imprint and put it onto film, we will. But if the imprint is a little fuzzy and we have to recreate it, we'll use the automaton. So this is going to be revolutionary. People will be able to watch a movie based on Forbidden Abyss Part 1, where Brent Spiner called me on the phone. They can hear the actual voice of him on the phone, see what he looked like when he was doing it, and then they can get a replication of me on the other end. See, the Jesuits are saying none of these events happened. But with this new technology, we're going to be able to capture this on film and prove that I am not crazy, that these things really happened. We predict that Zack Knight's going to try to, cause problems. He'll probably explode a bunch of new cocky to see if he can put radiation into the atmosphere and ruin all the imprints. But I have a feeling that the imprints are not limited to the area of Earth. They probably have already gone out into the fabric of space. And I don't even think the new cockies are going to be able to completely take it out. Not when we use our computer with Singularity. We're going to find it. Okay? I have a lot of faith in this. I have a feeling, and when people see this movie, it'll be like watching history come alive with like 99.99% accuracy. Like Killing Lincoln is out now by Bill O'Reilly. Well, if this was redone, made according to my criteria, we would see the actual Abraham Lincoln, what he looked like in the movie. The automaton would be an exact replication of him, and the imprints would ensure that every event that we captured is 100% accurate. So if this stuff could even be used as evidence in the courtroom, so I'm really excited. Look at this. Here I am, 57 years old, And my diet is working. Of course, I do exercise too. This is my exercise outfit. Which, so anyways, folks, when God is on your side, nothing is impossible. And Jesus favors me because I'm the King David woman. And we're going to have an out-of-this-world movie studio in Russia. And I'm excited. And Vladimir Putin, apparently, even though the ruble is weak right now, once this movie studio gets going and these movies start selling, I think Russia's economic problems may be solved.